I love this book so much, and I love the intention of it because it does focus around mentorship.
Yeah.
And somebody being there in your life, willing to root for you and bet on you. And you were lucky at different points of the journey to have people like that.
Yeah, it was, first, it's just awesome to be here.
Thank you.
And congrats on being back.
Thank
you know, you often hear this story, especially for black men and boys, about fatherless, right? But I was really fatherful.
Wow.
You know, I had these men at key points in my life that poured into me when I really needed it. I was desperate for it. And at the end of the day, they all were very different. They all gave me very different things. But they also gave me the love, the compassion, the care to forgive my actual biological father from whom we were estranged. So these relationships were just so powerful for me, and they're so powerful, and they're happening every day.
Yeah, they're happening every day in our lives. I love when they say, like, music is the fabric of our lives. I feel like people are the fabric, clearly, of our lives, and you look back at it. In the book, you talk about your childhood, and it's difficult. I mean, bullying, racism, poverty, as you described it in the book, and you said at some point, you realized that you have to transcend it, and you said, I'm seen as a black boy who transcended his circumstances. That's not the real story. I am who I am today exactly because of my circumstances.
Absolutely.
Explain that to me.
You know, so we operate in this world of systemic racism, right? And discrimination, and for black men and boys, for black people, for people of color, people with disabilities, we're dealing with it. And it's akin to like a ship. We're on this ship, the storms are raging. We have to deal with it. It's our reality, right? These men, my circumstances, they were my life rafts, you know, and they helped me navigate the storm. And I talk about 7 of them, but there were so many. And I needed them because my parents were divorced, and my dad was separated from me and not really active. And the circumstances that led me to this zip code where I grew up, where there were actually a higher proportion of black male working class fathers, they enveloped me and gave me what I needed to succeed. And I want that for every child. I want that for everyone in our community.
You talk about, you know, one of the things that really was a connective moment was meeting Mr. Williams in the 4th grade.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, I think most people I do, there's a teacher in your life.
And it's Teacher Appreciation Week.
And it is Teacher Appreciation Week. You know, I had many, but in particular, I always talk about Miss Ernestine Rose, 9th grade. Everyone was like, don't take her class, she's tough. And somehow I got the luck of the draw. And she changed my life because she taught me not to run from toughness.
Absolutely.
Embrace it. And you learn, and she is still in my life to this day. How did he transform, at least that 4th grade version of you?
Well, I talk about how all these men were different. I meet him in the 4th grade. I know him for 9 months. I don't even learn his last name until I researched this book 30 years later. And you're seeing a picture of him here. Teaching was his 2nd career. He was a Vietnam fighter pilot, came back, retired as a captain, and then enrolled as an elementary math teacher. Wow. So I meet him in the early 90s at Oakview Elementary in Silver Spring, and he's the first black man I've ever seen wear a tie and a jacket every day. Really? And I was getting bullied at the time. I was very chubby. I had these rec specs I wore to school. You know, I look different now, y'all. I look different now. And he just helped me build my confidence. Yeah. He helped me learn math, obviously. He helped me learn how to tie a tie. You know, he taught me that Windsor knot that I still tie today. I look in the mirror, I think of him. You know, he passed away. He passed away in 2019. I didn't get to tell him I was writing this book, but I've been in touch with his kids and his grandkids, and he's had a dramatic impact on my life. These men saved my life, right? I talk about in the book, I had a friend, Kalfani, who didn't have access to these mentors and unfortunately lost his life, and I think about him every day. And we all have these people. Like, you know, who are your 7? Who are the people that men, women, aunties, uncles that poured into you, gave you time and attention? And let's not only reflect on them, but let's also pay that forward and do that and be that for other people.
You said we all have 7. We don't all have a president. You have Barack Obama on your 7 list. What's the best advice he gave you?
Oh, man. Well, I meet Barack Obama when I'm a 20-something staffer on Capitol Hill. I work for him in the Senate and the White House. And so I get married to my beautiful wife, Michelle, who I have to say hi to. And we have 2 of our 4 children while I'm working for him in the White House. There she is, pregnant with our first child. Right there,
Beautiful.
Aaliyah.
Beautiful family.
That's the puffiness. She would want me to tell you that. You know, so the best advice he gave me was of how to be a father and how to be a husband and to be sensitive. He was like, kids change things. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna have to support her. You have this career that you're in. You're working with me. I keep you here late. You know, he was very helpful at that stage of my life, transitioning into a husband, father. And that's the other point in the book is that we need these people all throughout our life.
Yeah.
This is not just a childhood thing. This is all throughout.
It's not a one-off. One of the people that you mentioned in the book is Wayne Holmes, who was the faculty advisor for your high school gospel choir. He drove you to college, and you later lived with him when you were accepted a job. You wrote of him, "I succeeded because Wayne Holmes told me I could, opening a doorway to inner power I would not have known how to tap into on my own." I know that you hadn't seen him because of COVID, and then he showed up at a book signing for you. What was it like to, again, see someone that you've written about, and they say, "Wow, I didn't realize I had that impact on your life"?
Yeah, it was pretty.
Well, don't answer that. Wayne, are you here?
No.
Come on out,
No,
Wayne. Come on out, Wayne.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
You are
Wayne,
tricky.
I am tricky that way. What was it like to have Wayne standing there saying, "I had no idea"?
You know, Wayne was in my wedding. I was in his wedding. I took his mother down the aisle. He said something in the Q&A that stuck with me. And he said, you know, Will had a light in him. And he saw his job to just like not let that light diminish.
Exactly.
And you know, so it was amazing. I actually had 3 of my 7 black fathers at my first event when the book came out on Tuesday. I had my stepfather, I had Jay Fletcher, and I had Wayne.
Wayne, what is it like to have this impact on someone's life? I mean, you're around young people all the time.
Yes.
When you signed up for that role, did you say part of it is I'm going to help make their lives better if I can?
Well, understand, when I met Will, I was a teacher. And so meeting him as a teacher, I understood going into that role as an educator that being an educator is just one part of my job. Yeah. The young people that you're with every day, that's the larger part. And to be there for them, to support them, to care for them, and to make sure that they're successful beyond your classroom, that's what it's all about. Being in a classroom with someone and teaching them history or being a faculty advisor for a gospel choir.
He can sing, y'all.
Yeah, that's one thing, but you always want to instill something in them that when they leave you, they'll always carry with them. And that's what it's all about.
Oh, well, you are amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. This book, I'm telling you, y'all, give it to anyone you know. Even though the title says My 7 Black Fathers, this can be applied to anyone's life, race, gender aside. It is the story, though, of giving back and believing and pouring love. Ultimately, it's about love. Thank you so much.
Thank you.